So let's now start. All right, so can you guys see my screen now?
Yes, sir.
All right, it's good.
Sir.
So chapter 4 is everything can be automated. Okay, so without a further delay, what is automation? Okay, so automation is any process that is self-driven and reduces, then eventually eliminates the need for human intervention. So basically, when we see automation, so it doesn't need human, okay, and then it only works with robots or machines. And then, of course, not only machines, but of course, a machine that has a certain program. Okay, so we call that one automation. So machines are excellent at repeating the same task without fatigue and without the errors that humans are prone to make in such jobs. Because as we all know, humans tends to commit errors since even though we are so focused, but we cannot focus 24/7. Unlike machines, they don't think at all. Kung ano man yung prinogram niya sa kanya, yun yung gagawin niya 24/7. It's just that yung quality na siguro ng mga components yung magdidikta kung magko-commit ba siya ng error or hindi. Okay? So, as I said, it can work 24 hours a day without a break. Okay? And one more thing that we usually use for machines are in terms of IoT. Okay? So, as we all know, IoT mostly deals with switches and sensors. And then with the use of those sensors, so you can program that one by, let's say, sensing this thing. Let's say it detects a smoke. And then from that, it will automatically open your sprinkler. Let's say kung meron ganung technology yung bahay mo. Okay? So that is just a simple uh, way of doing automation. Or let's say it senses that it senses that the temperature is super cold. Then let's say you have this one thermostat. So you have a thermostat wherein if you program at this level, wherein if it exceeded the cold temperature, so it will warm or it will heat up your home. Okay, so that is another automation. Okay, so automated is being improved by machine learning. Okay, and then from time to time, it can be like 100%, like if possible. Okay, if possible lang naman, maging 100% accurate siya and then 100% efficient. Okay, with the use of machine learning. But as we all know, even machines were created perfectly, it will still somehow create or it will give us some errors. So, hindi man ngayon, pero maybe in the future. Of course, kakalawangin siya, magde-degrade yung components and so on and so forth. So there's still factors that it will give us errors, but very minimum. Okay? So, bago tayo mag-delve into machine learning, how many automated systems do you encounter in a single day? So just a question. So who wants to share what are the automated systems that you guys encounter in a single day? Wala? Okay, so pili na lang ako. Mr. Corpus.
Sir, mostly dalawa ganun, sir.
Ano yung mga yan?
Sir, mostly yung yung refrigerator pa minsan may may parang automatic siya na nagko-cool off or yung ginagamit niya yung kanya.
Pag na-reach
Yung,
niya yung
yung
coldest
red.
point niya. Okay, so tama. And ano pa yung isa?
Sir, yung ilaw, sir, dun sa front gate namin, sir, pag gabi, umiilaw siya, sir. Pag, tapos pag umaga,
Wow,
nag-off
that's
siya.
nice. It's one automated technology. So ilaw. So malaking bagay yan para makatipid tayo ng ilaw. So automatic, mag-open siya, let's say, at around 6 p.m. And then it will turn off at exactly, let's say, 6 a.m. So it is open for 6 to 6 or 12 hours. Okay? So I'm sure that most of you have already encountered the automated, like maybe, yung iba dyan, automated water dispensing na. Let's say, kasi pag pupunta tayo ng mga mall, di ba? Madalas maghuhugas or mag-alcohol. So mostly yung mga yan is automated na. So itapat mo lang yung kamay mo, okay. So masisense na kaagad yun. So again, sensor ulit yun. Pag na-sense ulit na nandun na yung kamay mo, then it will sprinkle some alcohol or a water. Okay? So even before, one good automatic sensor is yung dryer, hand dryer. So you don't need to click anything. So just put your hands below that hand dryer and then it will automatically blow some heat or hot air. Okay. So those are some examples and uh, how we encounter uh, automated machines or automated technologies. Right. So, isa sa mga pinaka, anong tawag dito, pinaka-popular, okay, when it comes to automation is nanggagaling mismo sa bahay natin. Okay, so why do we do that? Because we want an easier life. We want an uh, efficient way of living. Okay, so instead of you doing this, your machine or your this technology can do it for you. Okay, so many home environments has become a more automated environment. Like pagtapat mo pa lang sa gate, it will automatically scan, let's say, your face or your iris or your anything that it can scan. Or pwede mo ilagay siguro yung biometrics mo, yung ito, fingerprint, and then it will just open your gate for you. So instead of you pushing it, and so on and so forth. So we have actually a lot of devices to parang communicate with those certain technologies. So we have Apple HomeKit, Amazon Alexa and Echo, and Google Assistant, and many more. Okay, marami pa actually. So isa lang to sa mga example wherein we use it one to give a command. Okay, so pwedeng voice command or ano pa ba? Actually, lahat naman voice command. So I think it's not automated anymore if you're going to type it. So mas matagal pa yun, di ba? So mostly, when it comes to this kind of devices, all of them are voice commands. Okay, so we use this one to control, let's say, lights. So iba dyan, hey Alexa, open the lights. Hindi ko alam. Siyempre may mga room yun. Hindi lang naman iisa yung light mo. Kasi pag lights, baka lahat i-open nyo na. Open the lights in master bedroom. So, yan. Automatically, si Alexa nakakonect sa internet and then it will fetch the uh, parang pre-program, okay, on the Amazon server. So from there, if you fetch nyo yun, and then it will be delivered to your house. Of course, before you can do that, you have to configure that Alexa device first. Okay? So pwedeng sa locks, the doors, thermostats, flag switches, alarm system, and so on and so forth. So napakarami as long as uh, feasible siya or possible siyang gawin. Okay? So, yeah. And then for your laboratory number 13, so in this lab, you will examine your daily life, what processes are already automated, and what processes would you like to see automated in the future. Okay, so let me just show to you how laboratory number 13 looks like. So in this lab, your objectives is to imagine daily activities that would make your life easier and if they were automated. Okay. Backgrounds or scenarios, so many activities perform daily, redundant, and have the potential of being automated with advances in technology. So use your imagination or search videos to help you think of activities that could be made more useful if they contain intelligent sensors. So requirement, of course, wala. Ang kailangan mo lang naman is, your brain to think of something. And then, of course, your eyes and then your senses to see what are the activities that you're doing and every day. So step one is activities to automate. So think about your day in your home. So hindi tayo pare-parehas. So yung iba dyan, nakatira sa malaki, nakatira sa maliit, nakatira sa mayaman, nakatira sa hindi gaano, and so on and so forth. So dapat pagkakaiba kayo ng sagot. Okay. So this is your own answer, your own opinion. Okay, huwag kayo magsa-search kung ano ba yung mga possible na ganito, ganyan. So, ilagay nyo lang kung ano yung meron sa inyo. Okay? So, wala namang maling sagot dito. Okay? This is your own answer. So, ito yung nangyari sa inyo. Okay? So, are there any activities that you think would save you time if they were automated? So, for example, if the smart refrigerator in your home had sensors to detect weight, it could determine that the milk carton was getting low and automatically order milk that is delivered to your home. Okay, so let's say your refrigeration or refrigerator is, let's say, embedded or parang tawag po dito, connected with the Shopee or Lazada or kung let's say courier na lang, yung mga namamalengke. Okay, so let's say once it detects that there is no weight or the weight is not enough on that slot, meaning that milk is already uh, nainom na, okay? So, medyo tinapon na or nandun lang pero wala nang laman, okay? So, in that case, it will automatically order a milk to a certain shop, okay? So, use the table below to list at least 5 activities and how each particular activity could be automated. So, if you use any videos to spark ideas for automation, so pwede rin naman to pag may nahanap kayo which is super similar with your, let's say, hindi mo isip kung ano ba yung mga pwede mong gawin dun sa, let's say, sa refrigerator mo, sa TV mo, sa electric fan, and so on and so forth. So, pwede kang mag-search na sa tingin mo is makakatulong sa'yo. And then, let's say you found a brilliant idea, okay, that will help you to give you an idea for automation. So, you can use that one also. But, of course, you have to put the citation in here, okay? Kapag nag-search kayo. Pero kapag hindi naman, then it's okay not to put anything in here. Alright, so list the name of the video, URL, blah, blah, blah. So yun, sasabi ko lang, just list the URL that you're going to put. And then, just put here at least 5 activities. So, hindi naman siguro kayo makukulangan. Sobrang dami ng activities na lagi yung ginagawa. Wherein, you think that it needs automation. Okay? Na mas mapapabilis yung buhay. Or mas mapapadali. Okay, hindi naman mapapabilis, pero mas mapapadali. So how would activity be automated? So just elaborate here on each of those activities. Okay, so you can have more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So adding 6, 7, but at least you must put here 5 activities. Okay? And then yung mga URLs kung saan mo kinuha yung idea kung sakaling hindi nanggaling sa'yo. Okay? So yun lang naman. This is a very short laboratory for chapter 4 or module 4. Alright? So are we clear so far regarding with this one?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Alright, alright.
Yes,
How about the
sir.
others? If you have a clarification or question, so ask them as soon as possible so we can discuss it once again. Alright, so I think all of you got it perfectly. So let's now go back to the slides. So that's your laboratory number 13. And then your, so after that, you're going to have a short list. Okay, so in here, you're just going to uh, identify whether that task is automation or not automation. So just check the canvas later on once we're done with the discussion. Okay. So when things start to think. So this is just another question. Okay. So can things think? Can a device learn from its environment? So without reading the definitions, guys, what do you guys think? Can things think? Ang isang bagay ba ay nakakapag-isip? Say, of course, mostly dalawa lang naman yan. Kapag nag-iisip ka, it's either yung tama or yung mali. Or kung ano yung pinaka-the best or kung ano yung hindi. So, can things think? Can we say that smart TV will automatically turns off once it detects that itself is overheating?
Depends sa program niya, sir.
Depende sa program. So, I think nag-gets nyo na yung pinaka-main point or pinaka-main idea. But of course, you should program it properly for that thing to be able to think. Okay? But not really as a human that can think rationally, but a machine that can think uh, Parang programmatically, is there a word like that? So depending on it.
Logical.
Yes?
Sir, logical, ganun.
Logic. Pwede rin, logically. Or program. Basta yung according to its program. So parang gano'n. Ano to? The best to function models. Na-detect to na virus sa laptop ko. Anyway, so I'll go into that later on. So, meron tayong pinaka-quick example dito wherein, so when you were young, you don't know that, or when we were young, even me, I don't know, that a fire can hurt you, okay? That it's painful if you touch the fire, okay? So, as we grow up, okay, na nalaman na or nasaktan na tayo dahil na paso na tayo, as we grow up, ayaw na nating hawakan yung apoy kasi nga masakit, di ba? And as we look into the picture of the fire, so parang i-imagine natin na pag nandun ka, ang init. Pag nandun ka, mapapasok ka. So, in that way, parang nagre-respond na yung katawan natin. Okay? Parang hindi pa tayo lumalapit doon. Hindi pa natin hinahawakan yung apoy. Nasasaktan na tayo. Okay? So, in that way, which is very similar with the machine or with the components or with the sensor, yung sensor, wala naman silang pakiramdam, di ba? So, hindi sila nasasaktan, hindi sila nakakaramdam, ano bang magiging reaction nila. So, in that way, pwede nating ihalin tulad yun sa tao na kung ano yung nararamdaman natin, pwede nating ipasa dun sa robot na yun or dun sa component na yun. Wherein, once it detects that there's a heating part on this area, so, let's say, pwede mo siyang i-program na magsalita ng aray, sakit, parang ganun. Okay, so depende na sa program mo yun kung paano mo siya papareactan na nasaktan siya. Okay? So in that way, we could say that that robot is now kind of similar with you. Wherein kapag ikaw napaso, pwede rin mapaso yun kasi parang pinogram mo na siya as ganun. Okay. So pwede rin kung gano'n siya ka-sensitive, kung ganito lang ba yung paso na kailangan niya and then mapapaso na siya. So of course, depende yun sa pinogram mo rin. Okay? So whenever a decision or course of action is taken by a device based on outside piece of information, then that device is referred to as smart device. So yung mga tinatawag na natin ganon, let's say kapag sinabi natin device that it can think, right, or it can make a certain decision. So of course that decision is depending on the program that you put into. So kung ilang program yun yung mga decisions na pwede niyang gawin. Okay, and then we call that one smart device. So many devices that we interact with now have the word smart in their names. Smartphone, kapag nalobat, say 15%, it will remind you. Kapag mag-overheat some, will automatically shut down. Kapag, ano pa ba, yung mga sensor na pwede natin gawin. Pag naalog, yung iba mag-open yung flashlight, and so on and so forth. So this indicates that the device has the ability to alter its behavior depending on its environment. Okay, and also it should be programmed accordingly on that specific situation. So another question: what smart technology and devices have you interacted with today? So for sure, smartphone. But other than that, anyone who wants to share smart technology or smart devices? No one's answering. So let me just call someone. Mr. Romero, what are the smart technologies and devices that you have interacted today? Pag ito si Mr.
Sir, smart
Romero hindi
technology,
sumagot.
sir. Cellphone.
Maliban doon.
Wait, sir. Smart technology. Ano?
How about the others? You guys have some answers with you? Smart technology or smart devices that you have interacted with today?
Smartwatch, sir.
Smartwatch. Okay. So,
Laptops.
laptops, pwede rin. Okay. So, we're still waiting for the answer of Mr. Romero. Okay, so nabigyan ka na ng idea? Or nasabi na nila? Alright, so we will just go back into you, Mr. Romero. Kapag meron ka ng sagot, just let me know, okay, later on. So, yun yung mga example na pwede nating encounter sa pang-araw-araw. Pero of course, that's optional for some. Okay, even me, I don't have a smartwatch. I've never had a smartwatch. Okay, so the only thing that I encountered everything with smart technology is a smartphone, usually, and then a laptop, and then ano pa ba? Actually, yun lang. Okay, wala nang iba kasi hindi naman automated yung ilaw namin, hindi automated yung refrigerator namin. Like, everything is set manually, okay, or with the use of my fingers. But the others, like smartphone and then laptop, is smart technology. All right, so moving on. So we now have here your laboratory number 14. So in here, you're going to explore the smart home. Okay, so in this activity, you will explore the smart home example depending on the application. So some data is best processed close to its source. So the smart home example takes advantage of fog computing to monitor and act upon the levels of smoke detected
Oh,
in the hotel. Right? So we have here the instruction, and then we have here the PKA file, which is already ready-made for you. So you don't need to put those components anymore. So let's just download this one. So control and then left click. Okay, so I already downloaded that one. So nagpapakita doon existing. Anyway, para lang mapakita ko, dinownload natin ulit. Alright, so here's your laboratory number 14. So can you guys see this one? So I hope medyo clear yung iba. Okay. So we have your ISP, your internet, which is connected to the coaxial. And then we have here a splitter wherein pwede siyang magbato sa TV and then pwede rin siya magbato dito sa data mo sa cable modem. And then going to the home gateway and then we'll distribute the internet or the data to the smart fan, to the smartphone, tablet, alarm, or kung ano pa man din yung mga ibang nakakonect dito sa home gateway natin. And then it is also being powered up, okay, by our smart solar panel. So let's say this is your smart battery. So once it detects that it is now maybe on 2-level bar, okay, or let's say 2 bars na lang siya or 1 bar, then it will now, or this smart solar panel will now charge this smart battery. Okay. Then of course, this one is connected with the smart window. So, sinusupply niya to, sinusupply niya rin yung smart coffee, and so on and so forth. So, yung iba, hindi naman sila nakakonect sa smart devices or smart battery pack. And then we have an additional here. Okay, so we now have a microcontroller, okay, which can control the smart fan, the smart window, smart door, smoke sensor, and so on and so forth. So, lahat yan, may mga sensor na nakakonect. So let's say sa smart window, there is a servo motor or anything or any motor that can open and close the window. The same with the smart door, the same with the garage, and so on and so forth. So in here, you're going to explore the smart home, this one, the entire home in here wherein it has many sensors and smart devices. And then you're going to analyze the usage of fog computing in the smart home. So we have already discussed fog computing many times. So again, just a short discussion about fog computing. Fog computing is in your LAN, okay, in your LAN connection. So kapag, let's say, mag-fetch ka ng reading, so it will only read on this LAN connection. Unlike if you're going to use Alexa, Google Assistant, ano pa ba yung isa, yung Apple, kung ano man yung assistant na yon. Okay. All of those are connected to the internet. Okay, so lahat yun nakakonect sa internet, and then kapag let's say nag-send ka ng command, it will uh, transact with your ISP, and then i-fetch na pa doon sa server kung ano man yung, syempre kapag Alexa, so dapat sa Amazon Cloud siya. And then kapag Google Assistant, so sa Google Cloud naman siya. So depende kung ano yung gamit mo, smart devices to command your sensors. So in that way, mas mahaba, okay? Mas mahaba yung loop kasi pupunta pa siya sa internet and then cloud server, and then it will give the data that you're asking for. Okay, so let's say you're asking something about what is the weather today. Okay, so where are the nearest restaurants in my location right now? So yung mga ganun, yung mga simple questions. Unlike if you have a microcontroller, okay, yes, it is still connected with your home gateway, but if it's not necessary to ask the internet, so it will not connect to the internet anymore. Like for example, you're asking to open the smart window. So from here, dito lang siya sa loob ng fog computing. Like if it's connected to the Google Assistant, so pupunta pa siya sa internet bago niya ibato, and then bago niya i-open yung smart window. So mas mahabang process yan. Okay? So fog computing, make it quicker rather than using the Google Assistant or Alexa or kung ano pa man yung iba. Okay? So background of scenario, in this activity, you will explore the smart home example. This one, depending on the application. So some data is best processed close to its source, just like I mentioned before with the use of microcontroller. And the smart home examples takes advantage of fog computing to monitor and act upon the levels of smoke in the home. So we have here some questions from step 1 to step 2. Okay, step number 1. So it is common for ISPs to deliver data and video over a single coaxial cable. Starting from the attic, a coaxial splitter is used to separate video signal, the data signal. So two coaxial cables leave the coaxial splitter in topology shown. Which devices does the coaxial cable connect to? So kayo nang bahala dito. So parang i-observe nyo saan ba naka-connect tong splitter natin, saan siya papunta, saan pa siya papunta. So just put it here. Okay? And then the cable modem is the interface between ISPs and network and the home's network. So which device does the cable modem connect to? Or modem connect to? Okay, so sabihin nyo lang kung saan naka-connect yung modem natin. So I think it's very straightforward. And then here is you're going to, just tweak some settings or options wherein it will be able to show to you kung ano ba yung mga naka-connect dito sa home gateway natin. Okay? So, yung home gateway natin pwedeng connected via LAN or via Wi-Fi. Well, of course, since smart connection na tayo, lahat yan is via Bluetooth or maybe via internet connection. So, just list all here the devices that is connected to our home gateway. Okay? And then, second one is interacting with smart home. So, hayaan ko na sa inyo to. So, with the use of the tablet or smartphone, so ipapagawa lang siyang ganito, ganyan. Anong mangyayari kapag ginawa nyo na siya? So, ano yung mati-display? So, kayang-kaya nyo nang aalamin yan. Okay? Wala naman sigurong conflict question dito. Well, if ever that there's a complicated question that you can't understand, so feel free to message me anytime. Okay? And then, yan, hanggang dito pala sa part 2. And reflection. So, you don't need to answer this one. This is just to reflect the things that you've done from part 1 to part 2. Okay. So parang sagot na to actually. Parang conclusion na to. Alright, so I'll leave the reading part unto you guys. So any questions so far? So far na wala kayong question kasi hindi nyo pa naman natatry. Anyway, any clarification regarding with this one? Yung mga...
Sir, anong gagawin ulit sa Sa reflection? Hindi,
Wala.
naging choppy kasi, sir.
Walang gagawin sa reflection. Okay. The only thing that you need to answer in chapter laboratory number 14 is part 1 and part 2. Okay, ito may mga blank lang, sagutan niyo.
Yes, sir.
Reflection, hindi na kasi parang sinagutan naman na niya. So supposedly, parang ano ba yung magiging reflection mo kapag in-on mo yung ganito or ganyan, kapag in-off mo yung ganito, ganyan. Pero pagbabasahin nyo to, parang ito na kasi yung sagot. So, wala kayong gagawin sa part 3. Alright. So, that's it for your laboratory number 14. And then, pahapyaw lang dito sa what is artificial intelligence and machine learning kasi alam nyo na to, okay? Artificial intelligence is the one that we got trying to complete right now in this era, as I'm believing that maybe at the year 3000, puro robots na tayo. Okay, so sobrang bilis naman, who knows, maybe at year 2030 or 2040. So hindi na yun impossible kasi meron na nga tayong mga made robots na pwede nang parang, or it can already act as a human, like 80% it can act as a human. So ang problema na lang siguro natin is a nanotechnology wherein it has the same, softness of our hand. Kasi of course, as we all know, robots has steels. Okay? So paano natin i-embed yung parang, yung ganito kalambot na kamay, okay, ganito yung muka. So I think sa mukha madali lang, then it can feel something maybe. Pero sa kamay, so of course, it will hold yung mga mabibigat na bagay. So kailangan bakal nasa loob siguro. And then, depende na kung paano nila gagawin yun sa labas. Alright. So when we say AI, it refers to systems that mimic cognitive functions normally associated with human minds. Alright. So AI is like, a complete duplicate or complete version of a human. If possible, mas magaling pa sa human. Okay. Pero wala pa tayong ganun. Okay, maybe soon in the future. That it can learn, of course, and it can solve some problems. And then for machine learning, so ito na yung gumagamit ng AI. Okay? So when we see machine learning, it is now the robot that will be using the AI that it gathered. Okay? And then gagawin niya kung ano man yung natutunan niya. Okay? So depending on its program. Alright, so we will stop here for now and then we will just continue the rest on the part 2. Okay, since I think 20 seconds na lang tayo. Alright, so goodbye for now and then see you after 5 to 7 minutes.
Sige, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye, sir.
Goodbye. Alright, so can you guys see my screen now? So can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so we've stopped right here a while ago. So we've talked about some basic definitions of AI and then ML. So not Mobile Legends, okay? That's machine learning, okay? So AI refers to the system that mimic cognitive functions normally associated with human minds, such as learning and problem solving. Now, with the use of ML, it is now the one that is implementing, okay, the one that he has learned from mimicking a certain, say, person. So in here, ML is a subset, or machine learning is a subset of AI that uses statistical techniques to give computers the ability to learn from their environment. Okay, so AI is just a program wherein, with the use of ML or machine learning, it will be able to sense, see maybe, can maybe smell if it's possible already in our technology. So with those data that he is gathering from his environment, so he's able to learn the things that human do in everyday. Okay. Like for example, it may be detects that this one is not crossing the street because the traffic light is still red. Then maybe as time goes by, maybe after 5 times or 10 times that the robot or the machine is seeing the human doing that, so it will be able to mimic that. All right, so I will also do that one. Okay, so that's how he learned things. Okay, just by trying to mimic. Okay, so if he saw someone wherein he's killing the other people, where there's a chance also that that robot will mimic that person, and then of course will also become a bad robot. So it's like we humans are his parents. Okay? So whatever is that robot seeing every day, so he tries to analyze it from his program. Is this the thing that I should do or not to do? So initially, as a human, we already have that one. Okay. So we call that one like wisdom. Okay. So we do things inclined with our conscience. So let's say if you think that giving money with the poor is a good thing, then you do that one. But for some people, giving money to the poor is like, uh, para kasing may mga cases na kapag yung bata namamalimos, yung ibang tao namamalimos, parang, bang tawag dito, para silang gang. I don't know how to call that one. Pero meron yung iba, under sila ng, ano yung pinaka-proper example? Under sila ng group na kung saan may mga kukuha ng pera and then mapupunta lang sa isang tao. Like, parang yun yung boss nila. And then yung boss nila yung nagpapakain sa kanila. Okay? So, may mga ganong bogus ba tawag doon? Anyway, basta parang ganun, okay? So, for some people, it's a good thing. For some people, it's not a good thing. Okay? So, that person acts on its own will or its own judgment. So, uh, this enables computers to improve on a particular task without being specifically programmed for the task. So with the help of ML, so we don't program everything into that thing or into that program. So it is now the machine that is parang responsible on how to do things or how to learn new things. Okay. So this is especially useful when designing and programming specific algorithms, which is super difficult and infeasible or impossible to do. So for examples of such tasks in computer science include malicious code detection, network intruder detection, optical character recognition, computer speech recognition, and then computer vision. Okay, so yung mga yan, say, ito yung kahit yung minimum na parang deviation or error. Okay, like for example, maybe sa tao, kapag narinig mo yung boses na ganito, si mama yan, si papa, yung kapatid ko yan. Pero yung robot, okay, since nakaregister na sa kanya talaga yung 100% na boses ng tao, alam niya na kung sino to. So kung iniiba nung tao yung boses ng ito, it's like he's trying to mimic this person, so madi-detect niya yun, okay? So in that way, super useful niya na, diba? Okay, hindi lang, parang boses ni mama yun. So pag binuksan mo, mamaya criminal pala who just tried to mimic the voice of your father, okay, or the voice of your brother. Okay, and so on and so forth. So one objective of learning is to be able to generalize based on experience. Okay. So kung ano man yung nakikita niya sa pang-araw-araw, that is the one that he will analyze and then he will learn, and then maybe if it's useful things in according with his program, then he will save it to his database. So for machines, this involves the ability to perform accurately on new, previously unseen tasks after gaining experience. Okay? With a learning data set. So pwedeng, let's say, similar tong nangyayari ngayon, pero hindi niya pa talaga na-experience, pero similar dahil nga marami na siya nakita experience, then pwede niya magamit yung mga previous experience niya dito sa bago, wherein he will act according to his previous analysis. Okay? So the training data set must come from data that is representative of the larger data pool. Of course, this larger data pool is our server. So lahat yan pwedeng nakasave mismo sa kanya kung may hard disk man siya or hard drive sa sarili niya, or mostly naman yan kapag ang mga robot na is nakakonect na sila sa internet wherein binabato na doon lahat ng data sa cloud server. Right? So, talking about ML in the IoT, okay. So one of the features of IoT is that it enables the collection of extremely large pools of data that can teach programs how to respond in certain conditions. So nasabi ko nga kanina, meron yung ibang sensor that it can react accordingly to your program. So some of the more common uses of ML technology include speech recognition, product recommendation, shape recognition, credit card detection, facial recognition, and many more, if they can still add another features. So the first one is speech recognition. So this one is using digital assistants like yung sabi natin kanina, like for Apple, Microsoft, so hindi ko lang mapakalan nito, pero Google Assistant, yung isa sa mga pinakakuan. And then Alexa is for the Amazon. And then the other two, I forgot. But those are the speech recognition that is being offered by the IoT. So mostly with the use of IoT, mag-uumpisa muna tayo sa pre-made program. Okay? So yung iba dyan siguro kung mayaman, bibili na sila ng Google Assistant. Actually, meron ng, pwede na sa cellphone, okay? Pwede mo na i-program yung phone mo as, yun, Google Assistant. And then, just connect this to the server. And then yung server mo is magbabato ng data doon sa mga sensors mo. As long as yung sensor mo is nakakonect din doon sa server niyan. Okay? Para makapagbato siya ng, let's say, message or ng command. Okay? So that's how speech recognition works. And then the second one is product recommendation. So product recommendation is a customer profile and recommend products or services based on previous patterns. So paano nanggagaling tong product recommendation na to? So of course, an IoT is a smart device. So kapag smart device yan, meron siyang log file. So yung log file na yun, yun yung parang mga previous things na ginagawa mo palagi or pinapagawa mo sa kanya. Let's say, lagi ka na lang nagtatanong, what is the weather today? Or how much now is the cost of R5 3600 or R5 5600? Or how much now is the cost of Honda Civic? Okay. Or how much now is the cost of kung ano man yung maisipan mo, okay? So meron tayong wide imaginations kung ano yung mga pinagtatanong natin dito sa Google Assistant natin. Okay. So kung hindi man siya via voice, pwede namang via type. Okay. Magta-type ka dun sa Google mo. So syempre, nasa setting niyo. So either of those two. So in that case, malalaman niya na, mahilig to sa kotse. Mahilig to sa motor. Mahilig to sa computer parts. So from that, kukuha na ngayon siya ng, let's say, kasi may algorithm na rin yung YouTube na gano'n kung ano yung search mo palagi, yun yung ipapakita niya. So same with our Google Assistant or IoT device. So kung ano yung lagi nating tinatanong, yun yung din yung lagi niyang i-recommend sa'yo. Okay? Yun yung ipapakita niya palagi sa'yo. Okay? Kung sakaling yung IoT mo is meron ng LED display. Right? So that's how product recommendation work. Right? So, yun na nga, nasabi ko rin pala sa kaso walang YouTube dito. Pero YouTube, medyo similar. And then sa Facebook, ganun din. Kung ano yung lagi mong sinesearch, yun yung lagi magpapakita dun sa parang homepage mo. Alright? And many more. And then the second one, our third one is a shape recognition. So shape recognition is a sketch or pwede kang mag-drawing wherein, of course, that drawing is a crude hand-drawn diagram. So when I say crude, it's unclear, okay, or not skilled or not perfect. So from that, okay, i-analyze ngayon ito ng IoT device mo na, okay, so hindi man siya perfect na circle, pero maybe the user is trying to draw a circle. Like, so, eto na siguro circle na to. So parang na-analyze niya na circle na to. And then, of course, meron din tayo sa mga numbers and letters. So, this one is very evident or useful, especially with, pakita ko lang sa inyo. So, sa Microsoft Word, meron na neto eh. Yun na lang tayo. Wherein you can insert and then equation. And then insert new equation. Then, ink equation. Yan. So in here, you can say type 2. Pero yan. So automatically, mako-convert na into 2. 2 plus 3. Okay. Equals 6. Which is mali. So tinype pa rin niya. So ano yung sinulat ko dito, isusulat niya dito. So just insert that one and then, yan. Okay. So parang ganun. Okay. So of course, sa Microsoft Word, mga numbers lang kasi more on equations yan. Or letters. Hindi ko lang sure kung kaya niya yung mga shapes na complicated. Okay, that is one example of features of IoT with ML. Next one is credit card fraud detection. So let's say in-embed in-embed, inilink mo, okay, nilink po yung credit card mo dun sa uh, IoT device mo wherein it or that IoT device can detect whether uh, parang nanakaw na ba yung debit card mo, nakuha na ba ng yung information ng ibang tao, or may nangyari na bang masama dun sa credit card mo, and so on and so forth. So, any deviation from these patterns triggers an alert and the system automatically takes action. Like for example, you always buy groceries in uh, Robinson supermarket. Let's say, so, Robinson ka lang palagi. Laging ganun yung pattern. And then one time, okay, bigla na lang nag-pop up dun sa credit card mo na nag-grocery ka daw sa SM. Okay, wherein di ka naman talaga nag-grocery doon. So in that case, pwede natin masabing purchase in a different geographic area. Okay, or nag-purchase siya sa ibang location. So from that example or from that scenario, pwede nang mag-remind yung IoT mo na, oops, nanakaw yata yung credit card mo. Okay? Or let's say nag-purchase ka ng mga bagay na hindi mo naman talaga pina-purchase. So in that case, not normally purchasing ipapakita niya. Or bumili ka ng sobrang daming magkakaibang product. Okay? Which is hindi ka naman ganun. Okay? Palagi ka naman nag-grocery and then pare-parehas lang yung product na gino-grocery mo or binibili mo. So in that case, papakita na siya as rapidly purchasing many different products. And then, purchasing large ticket items. So kung sobrang laki, sobrang mahal nung binili mo, which is hindi mo naman binili yun, so pwede rin magpakita. Okay, kapag sobrang laki nun. Siyempre, pag nakapulot na information yung hacker, syempre bibili na siya ng pinakamahal para one-time transaction lang. Okay, di ba? So, which is this one. Right? So, that is for credit card fraud detection. And then, second to the last, last na pala to. Okay. So, facial recognition. So, ito, pinaka-common naman na to. So, facial recognition, biometrics is under this one already. So, yung iba, facial recognition na nga, may biometrics pa ng kamay, may mata pa, okay, and so on and so forth na pwede mong ilagay. So, in this case, you can identify and track the individuals. So, like for example, may camera sa labas nyo. So, hindi mo na kailangan lumabas yung IoT device mo na yung, let's say may camera ka doon. Yun na yung nag-detect kung papapasukin niya ba or hindi. So, kung may access yung mukha na yun, okay, yung mama mo, then automatic mag-unlock yung door. Pero kapag ibang tao, okay, ibang mukha, so of course, hindi mag-open yung door. Okay, so that is one example of facial recognition. So think about, just another question. So think about your interactions with online and offline systems over the past week. Okay. So how many machine learning applications have you interacted with? So is there anyone who wants to share their experience with your machine learning? Anyone? All right, so let me call someone. Okay, Miss Rio. So let's see, go back past few weeks. So think about the things that you did, mapa-online man or offline. So how many machine learning applications you have interacted with? Okay, so actually,
Sir,
you can come up.
maybe two.
Yan.
Sir, maybe two.
Alright, so ano yung dalawang yun?
Sir, yung sa social media services.
Hmm?
Sa Facebook po kasi meron po yung people you may know.
So pwedeng people recommendation instead of product recommendation. Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
ano pa yung isa?
Sa online customer support po, pag sa website, there's
So,
an option to chat with customer support representative.
customer support. So, nasan dito yung features ng IoT? Like, I don't know, kasi hindi naman ako masyadong ano ba yan, sa shopping ba yan? Shopping online? Is that for shopping online, Miss Leo?
Sir, mostly po sa mga website po na visit ko, may mga chatbots po kasi that can
Yung
while
automatic.
you navigate the website. Yes, sir.
Yung automatic para magre-reply. Oo, merong ganun. And then, as time goes by, maybe kapag marami ka pang question na hindi masagot ng robot, i-lead ka niya na sa isang tao talaga mismo. Parang
Yes,
yun
sir.
yung customer service. So, maybe, kaya siya. So, wala siya dito. Pero, possible naman. Okay? It's one of the features of IoT. Alright. So, moving on, we have here your laboratory number 15. So, in laboratory number 15, you're going to design a prototype of an AI application. Okay. So, don't worry when we say design a prototype. Okay. It's just basically your own idea. Okay? You don't need to implement it. So with IoT devices and IoT networks getting popular, technologies for IoT devices are also improving rapidly. So IoT devices are no longer limited to sensors and actuators, so they may have capability to think and act accordingly to the environment changes. So thanks to the development of artificial intelligence and machine learning, so it's now possible that we are now learning, okay, of course with the use of AI and then. So let me just show this one to you guys real quick on how you will do laboratory number 15. All right, so in here, the first objective is you're going to consider an IoT application with AI or ML technology. So, and then part 2, you're going to design the components required for an IoT application with AI or ML technology. And then lastly, once you're done in designing that one, you're going to describe the process and operation for the IoT application with flowcharts. So with discussion and then with flowcharts. So in discussion, so no problem. Just, explain it, how it's being done, ano yung mga operation na ginagawa niya. And then with flowcharts, so na-discuss naman na natin to kung paano gamitin yung mga processes, yung mga decisions, yung mga connections, and so on and so forth. So background scenario. Actually, dapat naka-group kayo dito sa 3 to 4. Pero since gusto ko, i-group kayo into 3 lang para yung grupo nyo ngayon, okay, for this laboratory number 15, will be also your group for your semi or initial final project. Okay? So, listen carefully. So, i-group ko na kayo ngayon. Teka lang, punta tayo sa ating canvas. Hello guys, are you guys still there? Para lang alam ko na nandyan kayo, para alam niyo yung groupings niyo. Alright, so
Yes, sir.
Magat is here.
Yes, sir.
Alright, it's good.
Yes.
Alright, so here's your groupings para hindi na masyadong complicated. So, nabilang ko na kayo, 15 kayo dito. Actually, 16 kasama ako, pero di naman ako kasama sa inyo. So, 15 lang kayo. So, ito yung first group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, Arviso hanggang Mr. Carino. Second group is Corpus hanggang Escabarte. Alright, that's the second group. And then the last group is Miklay hanggang kay Mr. Tuazon. Alright, so 5, 5, 5. So hindi na kayo mahihirapang alamin pa kung sino yung makagrupo nyo. Okay, so naka-arrange na yan alphabetically. Alright, so I hope hindi ako bias sa pagkakagrupo nyo. Wala naman sigurong sobrang talino na nandito sa part na to. So I think lahat kayo equal sa lahat. Equal sa mga magkaklase. So no problem when it comes to groupings. Alright, so yun yung grupo nyo. Clear ba naman? Nakuha nyo ba yung groupings nyo?
Sir, akala ko 3 members. Yan.
Hindi na. So iniba ko na. Instead
Yes,
of
sir.
3 to 4 members, gagawin kong 5. Okay, gagawin kong 5, exact 5 people to. Right? Okay ba yan? Or may complaints kayo sa mga kagrupo nyo ngayon? Wala nagsasalita. So, hindi ko alam kung may complaint kayo o wala. So, it's either yes or no. So, 50-50. Anyway, so, yan yun na. Buhatin nyo na lang. Okay. Ang talaga, ganun ang buhay. Actually, kayang-kaya nyo to kahit individually kayo. Pero mas maganda kasi kapag group kasi may collaboration. Okay. Merong idea sa tao na to, idea sa tao na yun, idea sa tao. Kasi nga, this laboratory is like more on brainstorming on how you will create a new AI or ML technology. Right. So, wala namang kailangan. Actually, lahat naman kayo is may internet access. And I hope okay lang to lahat sa inyo. Smooth naman siguro yung internet. And then, ito na yung mga steps na gagawin nyo. Okay? So, consider an IoT application with AI or ML technology. So, in part 1, the group members will list the functions and features of smart home thermostat. Nakalimutan ko. Okay, hindi nga pala kayo gagawa. So, ngayon ko lang ulit nabasa. Hindi kayo gagawa, pero I think gagawa kayo. Pero dito na yun sa huli. Okay, so for part 1, hindi kayo gagawa. Okay, meron ng ready-made. So, all you need to do is research. Okay, so not just research, but with understanding. Okay, dapat naintindihan nyo rin. So, just list all the functions and features of a thermostat. Okay, and a controller device with capability of self-learning. So take note, hindi lang siya thermostat. So paano mo siya i-relate with self-learning? Okay, like can it think? Okay, kapag nakapag-get na siya ng data sa pang-araw-araw. Let's say, ginagawa niya na to for 1 month. Okay, so ano yung mga natutunan niya? Ano yung mga pwede niyang gawin sa mga nakuha niyang data? Right? So it should be able to make decision based on the environment changes and acting accordingly, okay, regarding with the environment. So just list all the features and functions of the thermostat. And then step number 2, you're going to list the factors that may influence the perception of temperature. Okay, dito naman step number 2. And then third is list the ways the smart devices can get information about those factors. Okay, coming from step number 2. So, ganun lang. Actually, very straightforward naman siya. So, iiwanan ko na tong part 2 hanggang part 3. And then, what are your reflections regarding with those steps? So, paapyaw lang to. So, if ever that there is a question or not clear instruction with this laboratory, so just message me anytime. Alright? So, bibilisan natin kasi I think, hindi ko lang sure, baka meron na natin 10 minutes, more or less. Alright. So after that, you're going to have a short quiz about AI and then ML. Right? So don't worry, super short lang naman yung mga yan. It won't take that long. Right. So next one is intent-based networking. So actually, we have already discussed this one on your past modules. Pero ito na talaga yung pinaka parang thorough process when it comes to intent-based learning or intent-based networking. So mostly, intent-based networking is used by businessmen. Okay, so yun yung pinaka hint nyo when it comes to intent-based networking. Para saan ba itong intent-based na to? Okay, and then second is we use intent-based networking for faster action. Okay, so what are those actions? Like, kasi, di ba sa pang-araw-araw natin, sa business natin, laging may trending, laging may bagong pakulo, laging mayroong bagong rules, mayroong bagong ways of doing it na much more effective than the others. So, intent-based networking is the updated, okay, or effective or the most effective policy or rules that you can implement or you can implement or wala mahanap na ibang term yun, implement to your business. Okay? Kasi if you don't have intent-based networking, okay, you will do it manually. Okay? You will search on the internet how to publish or how to do advertisement or how to make it much more better, how to earn more money, how to, or kung ano pa yung mga rules na pwede mong gawin. Okay, or mga processes na pwede mong idagdag para mas laki yung kita mo or mas mapabilis yung business mo. Okay? So, of course, kapag ganun yung nangyari, kapag manually, mag-hire ka pa ng IT. Okay? Sila na mismo yung ganito, ganyan, and babayaran mo pa siya. Okay? So, to address this need, the IT industry has initiated an effort to create a systematic approach to tie infrastructure management to business intent. Okay, ano ba yung intention mo to sell this one? Saan mo ba siya gustong ibenta? For how much pa? Okay, and then, from there, mapupunta siya sa isang server, let's say, sa server ng isang application na intent-based networking. And then, magre-recommend siya ng ganito. Okay, ganito lang dapat mong gawin. According with this data of yours, mas effective siguro kapag ganito. So, yung IT na yung nag-design doon. Okay, systematic approach to tie infrastructure management. So kung meron tayong 3 cloud computing for other kinds of businesses like yung infrastructure as a service, infrastructure as a server, ano ba, infrastructure as tatlo yun nakalimutan yung isa. Anyway, parang ganun. So ito parang additional which is specifically for businesses only. Okay? So with this new paradigm, business needs are automatically and continually translated into IT infrastructure execution. So if you want to learn more about IBN, so you can always go in this website. So ito yung parang pinaka-complete, step by step yung mga use cases, yung mga pwede mong gawin, okay, and so on and so forth. Okay? Which is made by Cisco, of course. So parang product recommendation na to. So this is their tactics, to sell their certain product, right? And the next one is how are machine learning, AI, and then intent-based networking link with each other. So as we all know, intent-based networking is now using the automation. So automatic na siya kasi nga, yun, instead of using a certain person, an IT person, so automatic na siya mag-update kapag nakasubscribe ka doon or kapag program mo yun accordingly to your business. And then of course, kapag automatic siya, it already has an AI. Okay? So i-base niyo yun sa mga databases or sa mga data na nagagather niya sa pang-araw-araw. Okay? Ilan ba yung benta mo ngayong araw? Ilan ba yung magiging benta mo sa susunod? Okay? So it will be able to predict your tawag dito, revenue ba tawag doon? Or yung kikitain mo. Okay? Yung tawag dito, profit. Okay? It's correct. Profit in the future. And then ML to control the function of a network to accomplish a specific purpose or intent. Okay? So, mamaya discuss natin itong architecture ng IBN. So, second one is intent-based networking allows the IT team to specify in plain language exactly what they want the network to accomplish. And the network makes it happen. So, yung IT na yung parang gagawa ng pre-made program. And then kapag sumakto to sa situation mo, okay, so, i-convert na lang to into plain text and then made-deliver na to doon sa, let's say, sa business na gusto mo mangyari or sa outcome na gusto mo mangyari. So the intent-based network uses AI and ML to ensure that any services that are deployed meet the required service level. Okay, so of course, hindi naman basta-basta na kapag kailangan mo to, ito na ibibigay ko. So dadaan siya sa tatlong key elements. So the first one is assurance. So hindi lang basta-basta intent action coming from that intent-based networking na application yung ibibigay sa business mo. So, meron tayong assurance. We have the translation and then the activation. Kung na-confirm mo na okay, ito yung kailangan ko. And so on and so forth. So, assurance. What is this assurance? So, this is an end-to-end verification of network wide behavior. So, it predicts the results of any changes. It tracks the compliance with the original intent and makes recommendation or adjustments when there is a misalignment between the intent and the outcome. Oops. Okay, so one na pala. Yan. One na nga. Anyway, so magpupunta muna tayo sa assurance. So ito parang chinecheck niya lang, ito yung intent ko. So dapat pagbalik sa akin, ito na yung outcome. Okay, so ganun lang naman yan. Intent, and then outcome. Dapat ganun. Pag hindi sila magkaparehas, hindi mangyayari yun, okay? So, yun yung assurance na sinasabi natin. So, hindi siya may implement doon sa system. So, dapat parehas sila, okay? So, this stage relies heavily on AI and ML. Systems are part of the closed loop that continually monitors performance and security of the network and reconfigures the network to ensure compliance. And then translation, ito na yung, let's say, assured na siya, no? Okay na siya. So, ito na yung, i-confirm mo na lang kung i-adapt yun ng system mo or hindi. Okay? So, apply business intent to network configuration. So, the intent is what you wish to accomplish, not how it is accomplished. So, sila nang bahala kung paano nila ma-accomplish with using their own system. So, ikaw, gusto ko ng ganitong outcome. Okay, ito yung plan. So, magsasabi sila ng intention na ganito yun mangyayari. Okay, with this way, maaabot mo tong ganitong profit. Okay? So, this intent is specified in plain language and used by the system to create policies across the system. So, for example, an intent might be to segment guest traffic from corporate traffic or to enable access for remote users. So, once you're clear with this one, okay, so confirm mo lang, of course, the last one is activation. It occurs after the intent has been specified and the policies is created. Okay, so it's now working with your system. All right. So if you want to learn more about how ML and AI and IBM work with each other, so you may want to visit Cisco Learning Network. Okay. So ito yung mas thorough na training when it comes to learning about intent-based networking. So let's say maybe you're a businessman, so pwede naman, I think you just need to create a GitHub account. Okay. GitHub, and then yun, after nun, so you're now good to go on how to learn intent-based networking. Right? So ito yung mga use cases for the intent-based networking. Of course, we have the Cisco Digital Network Architecture. So what is Cisco Digital Network Architecture? So ito yung product, okay, ng Cisco. So ito yung ginagamit nila for intent-based networking ng mga tao na kailangan ng ganitong technology. Okay. So for more information with this one, so you may visit this website. Okay. And then right after that, you're going to have this laboratory. So researching intent-based networking. Okay. So in this lab, you will explore some of the possibilities created by intent-based networking. So, yun. So wala na tayong oras ulit. So papakita ko sana to. Anyway, so just wait for the part 3. So malapit na tayo. 3 slides na lang. Summary na actually. Pero since 1 minute na lang, so hindi yun enough kasi i-discuss pa natin to. And then the remaining time on the part 3 will be the discussion for the your initial project. So for now, we will stop right here and then we will just continue the rest on the part 3. Alright? So goodbye for now. So see you after 5 to 7 minutes.
Sige, sir.
Alright.
Sige, sir.
Okay. So let's now continue. Right, so here's your laboratory number. What is this? Laboratory number 16. Right? So na-download ko na siya. Yes. So I will already open it para makasave tayo ng time. So in this laboratory, you're going to explore the Cisco intent-based networking website. Okay. And then in part 2, you'll learn about introduction to intent-based networking with Cisco Devnet. Of course, you're going to use your own product. Okay, para of course, mas maraming gumamit ng product, mas mataas yung earnings. And then the last one is explore IBM community requests and share your own. Right? So here's the scenario or the background. So today the network connects everything. What if the network could constantly adapt, protect, and notify based of the intent of the business owner. Okay? So with an intent-based network, based on an open platform, the network can capture business intent and align the end-to-end network with that intent to bridge the gap between what the business needs and what the network delivers. Okay, so required resources, so all you need to do, all you need to have is your computer, and of course that is connected with the internet. So here's the part one. So in here, you're going to explore the website of intent-based networking. So basically, just visit this website, and then you have to answer this question. So from this website, what is intent-based networking, which is super easy. And then list at least 2 reasons for using IBN from this website also. Right? And then in part two, okay, so this one is introduction for the Cisco Devnet. Right? So just go to this website to go to the Cisco blog. Okay. And then, of course, you're going to be asked again. So what is the first step to get started and hands-on with the coding, with the use of Cisco DevNet? Okay. Second one is with IBN in use. What should happen if a business owner specifies an intent to the network? Okay. Also came from this website. And then lastly is you're going to explore the IBM community requests and share your own. Okay, so just go to this website and then it will lead you to the it's like exchanging of ideas between businesses or businessmen rather. So after reading through some of the intents built by community members, okay, so napakaraming members dyan. So maybe I don't know 10,000 or 5,000 more or less. So pick 2 intents that interest you and list them below. So hanap kayo ng mga intent ng mga member doon na sa tingin niyo is parang interesting or napakaganda ng idea. Okay, so just list it here and then list it another intent that you have interested with. Okay, so dalawang intent yung hahanapin nyo or dapat na interest kayo coming from that website. And then, step number 2 is now like opinionated. So sa inyo na to. So create your own intent wish on the Cisco Devnet website and post it below. So what is the title that you have posted and then what is the details that you have posted? All right. And then the reflection. So can you think of other use cases for intent-based networking than what you have found in the 3 websites? Okay, so lahat kasi yun parang related with IBN. Iba, yung isa actually more on introduction. The second one is the IBN that is being used by the Cisco. And then the third one is exchanging of ideas between businessmen. So can you still think of other use cases? So kung meron pa, so just put it here. Okay, so dapat meron kayong sagot. Hindi pwedeng none. Sobrang dali naman kapag none, di ba? So try to brainstorm, okay? So you must have an answer in this block. And then lastly is what type of programming skills do you think you'll need to deploy intent-based networks? Okay. So just put here your programming skills that you'll be needing. Okay? So that's it for laboratory number 16. Any question or clarification so far?
None.
Alright, so how about the others? Nan, sabi ni Mr. Kagiwa.
None, sir.
Wala
Answer.
po, sir.
Kaya kayo, sige.
Answer.
Alright, so last one is the summary. Okay. So actually, kahit walang summary, alam nyo na kagad yun. So ulitin ko lang, we've started with automation wherein, of course, it now becomes automatic with the use of sensors or switches. Okay. And then, pag sinabi natin automation, it eliminates the intervention of humans. So it's completely with the machine only or the robot. Next one is AI. So AI again is the intelligence or artificial intelligence which it tries to mimic human being. Okay, and then from that AI, so it can be done so by with the use of machine learning or machine only. So kapag machine lang, of course, kung ano yung program mo, yun yung gagawin niya. Okay, as an AI. But right now, we already have the machine learning wherein that machine has a lot of sensors, wherein it can gather data and then it can analyze those data and then think up something na pwede niyang magamit in his daily life. So of course, kapag lagi niyang nakikita yon, so maybe, gano'n naman yung tao eh. Kapag lagi niya nakikita to, so parang ibig sabihin, normal lang yun. Okay lang yun na gawin. Okay? So of course, kapag lagi niya nakikita is magagandang bagay, yun yung gagawin niya. And kapag lumaki naman siya, hindi naman lumaki. Okay? Pag nandun siya sa lugar na, let's say, pinapakita mo lagi yung patayan, suntukan, so yun din yung gagawin niya, okay? Kung sakaling hindi na program yung properly, kung sakaling program lang ng programmer niya, kung ano yung lagi niya nakikita, yun yung gagawin. Right? So of course, that all still depends on the program. So many of these tasks have ML, which is a subset of AI that uses statistical techniques to give computers the ability to learn from their environment migrated from AI to machine learning. So ito yung crucial part, yung statistical techniques. So dapat sobrang solid ng algorithm mo dito. Okay? Para masabi natin perfect siya to mimic a certain human. Alright? So the next topic that we've discussed is the IBN, wherein, again, IBN is made for businessmen, for business networks that will be integrated with IoT devices. Okay? So, pag sinabi natin IoT devices, so syempre connected na siya sa cloud-based service and then remote offices in a way that it is relevant and responsive to business. Okay? So again, intent-based networking is made for businesses networks. Okay, para mas, ano ba yung intent mo, ano ba yung kailangan mo, and so on and so forth. And then lastly is how intent-based networking is related or linked with AI and then with the machine learning. Okay? So again, we're using three elements para ma-maintain natin yung integrity ng intent-based networking natin. So we have the assurance, translation, and then the activation. So assurance is end-to-end to. So kino-confirm ng bawat isa. So from IP products, yung, let's say yung Cisco, Cisco DevCon ba yun? Kalimutan. Ito, Cisco DNA. So digital networking architecture. So from there, dapat nag-o-offer sila ng kung ano yung ina-expect ng customer or ng mag-subscribe, dapat mabibigyan na lang output na kailangan ng customer. And then translation is now like accepting or configuring whether you will adapt that one to your program or not, or system or not. Okay, and then lastly is activation. So kung kailan mo siya i-activate or kung kailan mo siya officially papaganahin mo sa system. Right? So that's it for this chapter. So short lang siya. Hindi siya ganun kadami actually. So I thought dun sa module 2 natin is magi-start na tayong gamitin yung virtual laboratories natin. So ito nga pala yung yan, kung saan nanggaling ito. Okay, sa Cisco rin naman kung sakaling enroll kayo doon. So pwede nyo visit anytime. Pwede nga kayo mag-advanced learning. Mas maganda kapag nag-advanced learning kayo. So that's it for chapter 4. And going back to what I'm saying a while ago, so gamit yung Python, okay? Kasi nasabi ko last meeting, last meeting, na yun yung gagamitin natin para mag-program ng mga sensors. Akala ko we can program a sensor manually with the use of simulator. Pero, parang more on kwan lang pala sila, parang i-configure mo lang sila, there's really no programming, okay? So, readily made na sila for that purpose. So all you need to do is connect and then configure it and then i-connect mo lang siya sa home gateway and then you can access it with the use of tablet or smartphone as long as working yung connection nyo. Then that's it. So working na siya as a smart door, working na siya as smart window. So supposedly, kung titignan nyo, sa smart window pa lang, okay, yung sensor na ginamit doon is pwedeng meron silang servo motor. So I hope narinig nyo na yun. Of course, may servo motor, may capacitor, may mga resistor, and so on and so forth. So parang ganun sana. Okay, gagamit tayo ng Blackly kung anong gagawin niya every 10 seconds, and such, and so on and so forth. Pero, yun nga, pahapyaw lang pala yung lahat. Okay. Because me myself haven't finished the or creating your module pa. Kasi akala ko, tutuloy-tuloy niyo yun on how to, create or how to implement a certain IoT device. But in here, mostly parang basics kung ano yung mga idea kung saan mo ba pwedeng gamitin to, bakit mo gagamitin to, and then ano pa ba? Well, actually, yun lang naman. Okay, so it's like more on the history and then yung mga new technologies na pwede natin gamitin on how to implement this IoT. Okay, so with that being said, so I'm afraid that you will be able to experience it na in actual na gumawa kayo ng IoT devices. But I found a way, so kagaya ng sabi ko nga kanina, I found a way wherein we can use your smartphone. Okay, so as long as your smartphone can connect to the internet, then you're good to go. And then as long as the sensors of your smartphone is working properly. So ano ba yung mga sensor na yun? Yung camera, yung audio, ano pa ba? Yung microphone, yung gyro sensor niya, or yung accelerometer na tinatawag natin. And ano pa ba? Yung barometer, yung temperature, kung meron man, kasi sa akin, meron yata siyang temperature check to. Paano mo i-check yung temperature. And so on and so forth. So kung ano yung mga pwede pa natin makuha na data coming from your cellphone. Alright? So, may nahanap akong application which is the cloud sensor. So, pakita ko lang dito. Cloud sensor. Ano ba? Check natin kung ito yung magpapakita. As IoT. Right. So wait lang hinahanap ko yung nakita kong tutorial. Which is very good actually. Smartphone, I think. Smartphone as IoT. Smartphone, modify. Yeah, I think this one. So I would like you guys to watch this one. Okay, so ito is galing sa Software AG University Relations. So ang title nito is Turn Your Smartphone into an IoT Device in Only 1 Minute. Okay, so actually 5 episodes to. So ito yung pinakauna kung paano nyo siya magagawa as an IoT device. So panoorin lang natin. Anyway, can you guys hear what is this man trying to say? Narinig nyo ba?
Sir, mahina.
Mahina, no? So, ipapakita ko na lang siguro yung mga ibang part, okay? And then, i-rewatch nyo na lang ulit, okay? So, don't worry, madali lang siyang i-search. So, smartphone as IoT, and then magpapakita na to. So, again, I repeat, it came from Software AG University Relations. And then, ito yung title, Turn Your Smartphone into an IoT Device in Only 1 Minute. So, bakit ito yung napili ko? Kasi, yan, instead of using a sensor, so tanggalin ko na lang yung voice niya para hindi kami magsapawan. So again, instead of using those sensors, so as you can see, tinabi lang niya, okay, hindi mo nakakailanganin yun, okay? Especially ngayong pandemic kasi nakakatakot lumabas, di ba? Bibili ka pa ng sensor, tapos gagastos ka pa ng 5,000 ka mo na lang, mag-Arduino ka pa, and so on and so forth. So ang kinaibahan lang naman doon is i-upload nyo yung data. Okay? So instead sa physical computer nyo, sa server nyo mismo siya i-upload. Okay? So hindi lang siya basta server. So may mga server tayo na made for reading and fetching of a data wherein naka-table na siya. Okay? Pero dito talaga sobrang simple ng implementation kasi made siya para sa smartphone. Pero kapag galing pa siya sa sensor mismo, so ibang usapan na naman yun. Okay? So with that way, dapat ma-experience talaga siya in actual. Pero hindi ko naman siya nire-required. Okay? That is only if you have the money. Okay? So I highly suggest na i-try nyo siya. Okay? Mag-umpisa kayo sa sensor muna, smart sensor na pwede siguro yung servo motor, smart light, yung kapag natamaan ng ilaw, mamamatay yung ilaw, yun. Photoresistor yung tawag doon. So may mga ganong klase. So kinaibahan lang naman is manggagaling or maisisave yung data niya sa server. So, I hope that idea is clear. Manggagaling siya sa server, papunta sa mga display outputs natin. So pwedeng, or mostly, ito naman yung gamit, to read the outputs from those sensors. Smartphone, kasi yun yung lagi nating hawak. Yung iba naman is with the use of smartwatch. Pero kakunti lang gumagamit nun kasi nga, iba naman yung watch nila, or kung sakali naman, walang pambili ng watch na ganun kasi mahal yung mga ganun, diba? Okay, so pakita ko lang yung una yung gagawin. So yan, sabi niya you can use your microphone, your location. Hindi ko na alam kung ano tong iba. Pero let's say, mga sensors to, okay, na meron na mismo sa cellphone natin. Alright? So instead of using those physical sensors, we can have or we can use the sensors of our smartphone. Alright? So ito yung application na kailangan natin gamitin or kailangan yung gamitin para ma-connect natin yung smartphone natin sa computer natin. Okay? Sa mismong laptop natin or sa mismong desktop natin. So first, i-download nyo muna to, Cloud Sensor app. Okay? So, yon. Pangalawa, pag na-download nyo na is connect to an IoT platform. So, how do we connect? So, sinasabi niya kung ano yung mga features ng Cloud Sensor app. Ito, meron tayong 2 ways para makapag-avail ng account. Oops. So, meron tayong for education package or meron tayong free trial. Okay, so for education package, so pwede ito sa students and faculty. Well, pwede nyo piliin to, pero sa akin yung pinili ko is ito. Kasi pag ito yung pinili nyo, mas marami kayong fill upan. Okay, mas mahaba yung process. Pero ang kailangan lang naman natin is like a short demo. Actually, patapos na yung SEM na to ngayon. Parang 2 weeks na lang and then patapos na. So, this free trial is already enough, which is same lang din naman dito. Ang kaibahan lang is kung nag-create ako ng faculty members, okay, as a faculty ako, pwede ko kayang i-register mismo. Ako na mismo magre-register sa inyo. And then, all you need to do is, give your ID number and then i-register ko kayo dun sa cloud server ko. So, ako lang may hawak ng cloud server. Pero, since gusto ko ma-experience nyo, kayo mismo, yung mga-experience nung kung paano ba yung magpapakita dun sa cloud mismo, so pwede nyo gamitin to free trial. So, ikaw na yung maggagawa ng data, ikaw na yung magsasend ng data, or mag-create ng data, ikaw na rin yung makakakita ng data. Okay? Gamit tong free trial. So, this 30-day free trial is already enough. Okay? Gawa lang kayo ng account. Okay? Just make sure, okay, ito lang yung dapat yung siguraduhin. Huwag kayo maglalagay ng personal information regarding with you. Okay? So, yung gamit ko nga sa akin, so check ko lang kung naka-login pa ba yan. Yung gamit ko doon. Yung website yun. Velocity ba yan? Yata. Check natin pa. So, ito yung website nila. Ito yung parang cloud server nila ng Velocity IOT, which is galing dito sa ito. So, medyo matagal. Anyway, so wait lang natin. And then, so yan, sinasabi niya na after nyo mag-sign up, mag-login lang kayo, blah, blah, blah. And then, yan, malilid kayo dito. Hindi ko alam kung kita nyo pa to. Ayan, lakayan ko na lang. So, once na meron na kayo account sa Cumulosity, ito, yan, i-connect nyo na lang yung smartphone nyo. Okay, so, i-open nyo yung Cloud Sensor app, and then pwede nyo i-scan. Well, in my case, hindi gumagana yung scan. So, ang ginawa ko is yung manual. Okay, may option naman na pwede nyo gawin yung manual. So, sa kanya gumagana. I don't know, because maybe this one is outdated already. Though, I think this one is 2019. Check na natin. Yeah, 2019. December 2019. Pero yung barcode nila is hindi na gumagana. So, after nyan, actually, may another authentication na, yun, basta parang double authentication siya. So, first, i-register mo yung phone mo. And then, second is, i-connect mo siya doon sa cloud server mo as a device. Right? So, once you're done with that, yun na yan actually. Okay, so, ipakita ko lang kung ano yung Teka lang. Meron na. So, yung gamit ko yan. So, kung papansin nyo, C is layer. So, customer yung pangalan ko and then Slayer yung last name ko dito. So, kahit ano namang account name, ang kailangan naman natin is yung free trial version para hindi risky yung mga personal informations natin. So, i-login ko lang para mag-sync siya dito sa cloud server. So, are you guys still there? Nakikinig pa ba kayo?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so kung papansinin nyo, ito yung naka-register under my devices. So, nandito lang ako sa all devices. Alright? So, just wait a second. Online na ba? So, check natin sa home kung connected na ba siya. Yan. So, as you can see, ito yung pinaka-minor na pwede nyong makuha kaagad-agad. Kasi naka-on na kaagad yung location ko. Hindi ko kita nyo. Yung nawala. Wala. Hirap. Pero ganito rin yung nakikita ko sa phone ko. Okay. So, malalaman nyo rin yan kung ano yung mga pwede nyo makita na data sa phone nyo at saka dito sa website kapag nakapag-login nyo. So, as you can see, so sa mga nakakaalam, sa T. Alonso ako nagbo-board. Okay, nagre-rent lang ako dito. So, ito yung location na magpapakita. And then, pwede ka pang magdagdag actually, maliban lang sa map. So, punta lang tayo sa all devices. And then, click nyo lang tong device na gamit. So, yung gamit ko is yung Galaxy S7 Edge. And then, from here, you could see that we are in sync with each other. Like, online yung cellphone ko. Okay? So, push connection is active. So, from time to time, nagiging active saka inactive yan. Okay? So, depende sa internet connection nyo. Okay? So, magpapakita naman kung kailan siya last na na-update. So, November 23, 2020, 1:42. Okay? So, 1:43 na ngayon. So, delay lang siya ng 1 minute. Alright? So, from here, pwede mo makita yung mga basic information ng cellphone mo and so on and so forth. And then, ito naman yung wala na. Ito naman yung location. Alright? So, another thing that you can do is, so pwede kayong pumunta dito sa cockpit. So, mas maraming sensor na magpapakita dito. So, click nyo lang to, parang yan, yung mga square-square na yan. Go to cockpit. Medyo mabagal ang internet. So, wait lang natin. And then, under cockpit, so, kanina devices to, ngayon groups na siya. Okay. So, punta lang kayo sa groups, phones, Galaxy S7 Edge. And then, ito na yung parang pinaka main home mo or pinaka main interface mo dito sa Galaxy S7 Edge. So, actually, pwede mo siyang ipa-vibrate. So, makakontrol mo siya itong cellphone. So, click nyo lang tong vibration. Ayan, nagba-vibrate na tong cellphone ko ngayon. So, to turn off ka lang, pwede rin kayo mag-send ng message. Okay. Like, hi. So, hindi ko lang makita nyo. Hindi nakita. Masyado kasing maliwanag. So, magpa-pop up yung word na hi dito. So, parang pwede siyang messenger, as long as active yung dalawa. So, ito yung signal or, Wi-Fi signal ng cellphone ko. Okay, kasi naka-indicate naman dito. Signal strength Wi-Fi. Alright, so, yan. So, pabago-bago. And then, meron tayong smartphone sensors. So, dito, ito na yung mga pwede nyong pagkalikutin. So, marami tayong klase ng sensors. So, punta lang kayo dito sa, I think it's under Data Explorer. So, check lang natin to. Data Explorer. Ayan. So, maraming sensor. Merong acceleration, barometer, pwede rin yung compass, pwede rin yung gyroscope, and laxometer, and then yung strength or signal strength ng Wi-Fi. So yung activated kasi sa akin ngayon is yung acceleration. So ito is naka-real time siya, pero pwede mo naman palitan like every minute or last 1 minute, last hour, last day, and so on and so forth. So ang gagawin ko is i-custom ko lang para real time talaga siya. So ito yung phone ko, okay, naka-sync na to ngayon. So yung accelerometer, okay, or acceleration is kapag umiikot yung phone mo, okay, so dapat gaganon-ganon din yung sa bar graph. Okay, so as you can see, real time to, iniikot ko. Yung nakikita nyo ngayon sa graph is yung, yung paggalaw ng cellphone. So pag hindi ko na siya ginalaw, ganyan lang, so dapat steady na lang siya. So wait natin siya. Siyempre may konting delay siya, hindi siya real time na real time. Oops, last minute pala to. Custom dapat, custom. Ayaw ng custom. Ayan. So as you can see, naging stable na siya kasi hindi ko na ginagalaw yung ating cellphone. Okay. So that is one sensor that you can have regarding with this one. So kung hindi nyo alam yung meaning ng acceleration sa cellphone natin, yung X, Y, Z, so pwede nyo namang i-search or you can always ask Mr. Google, okay? And then meron tayong barometer, compass, gyroscope, and so on and so forth. Alright? So for now, iiwanan ko muna sa ganitong kalagayan, okay? So, ano ba? So I was thinking on the things that you can do, okay, or the things that you can figure out regarding with this application. Kasi super limited lang yung sensor natin. So I hope meron kayong maisip na kakaiba na pwede nyong gamitin with the use of those sensors. Like, for example, okay, so kukunin ko na tong idea na to. Okay, so ito na yung parang pinaka-final project ko, okay, as a demo for the sake of doing a demo. So itong acceleration na to, itong tatlo na to, is pwede ko siyang gawing project na let's say, nahulog na pala yung cellphone ko. Or gumagalaw pala ng sobra yung cellphone ko. So pwedeng nagta-travel, or pwedeng naglalakad, or pwedeng tumatakbo. Okay? So in this case, pantay-pantay lang siya kasi yun. Medyo may konting ganun kasi nanginginig yung cellphone ko. Siyempre hindi naman siya constant na ganyan lang. So pag nilapag ko yan, saka mo makikita yung straight na line. Okay? Kapag completely at rest siya. So yun yung isa sa mga project na pwede nating maisip with the use of acceleration. So habang hindi ko pa nadidiscuss yung iba, I would like you guys to come up with something or with an idea kung paano nyo magagamit yung barometer, yung compass, yung gyroscope, laxometer, or yung strength of signal ng Wi-Fi. So pwedeng combination, okay? So pwedeng lahat. Okay? I-propose nyo lang yung idea nyo. So yan, nagpantay na kasi iniwanan ko na yung cellphone ko dito. So at rest na siya. So, yun lang naman. So iwanan ko na dito. And then, kayo na bahala mag-isip kung ano yung mga pwede nyo magawa using the sensors of your smartphone. So, no reason na hindi nyo ito magagawa kasi lahat naman tayo may smartphone. Okay? So, any question or clarification so far? Dun nga pala sa mga magre-register pa lang, so try to search on how to do that one step by step sa YouTube para mas masundan nyo na lang yun. Okay. So first, download yung Cloud Sensor app and then panoorin nyo yung tutorial ni Sir kanina, kung sino man yun, nasa YouTube na yun. Right? So, any questions so far or clarification?
None, sir.
Okay, sure. So, meron pa tayong 7 minutes, to talk about your concerns. So, for now, kayong 5, okay? So, 5 kayo, di ba? 3 grupo. Kalikutin nyo muna to and then alipin nyo kung para sa ba itong barometer, para sa ba itong compass, and ano ba yung pwede nyong gawin, okay, as a proposal project para parang useful yung data na nakukuha natin dito. Okay. So, pag ganito, pag straight line, ano na nangyari? Kapag ganito yung line, ano ibig sabihin nun? Okay. and so on and so forth. So, eto na lang muna sa ngayon, yung magiging initial final project, no? So, kung may madagdag tayo, then dadagdagan pa natin. Since saglit lang naman gawin to. As long as you're connected with this one, then you're good to go. And then as long as you have the brilliant idea with the use of your sensors in your smartphone, then that's already it. So, with this final project, ide-demo nyo na lang sa akin, okay? So, we're going to have a 4-hour class maybe, wherein you're going to demo your final project. So, meron pa kayong actually like 10 days since yung exam nyo naman is like December 3, 4, and 5, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So, you guys have 10 days. So, as early as of now, so brainstorm now on how to uh, come up with a brilliant idea with the use of those sensors. Okay?
Sir,
So,
kailangan bang working project?
oo naman, kailangan working. Kailangan may nakikita akong data. Don't worry, yung working project na sinasabi ko naman is with the use of your smartphone lang naman. Just let me know. Okay, ito na lang. Just let me know kung hindi working. Though, yan, kung hindi working yung smartphone ng iba, pwede naman yung smartphone na lang ng isa sa inyo. Okay? So just come up with one good idea na kayong 5 na. Okay, hindi naman dapat magkakaiba kayo. So just one idea na kayong 5. So, 3 magkakaibang ideas. That is why magkakaroon tayo ng proposal next meeting. Okay, so paunahan na lang. Okay, so pagka-open or pagka-start natin ng Zoom meeting, so sabihin nyo na yung mga proposal nyo. Okay. So sir, group 1, ito yung mga letter A yung apelido. So ito po sa amin, ito po yung proposal namin with the use of the Cumulacity IOT. So ganun na naman. Any other concerns so far? So how about the others? Mr. Carino? Mr.
Yes, sir.
Corpus? Question, Mr. Carino?
Sir, none, sir.
Wala pa sa ngayon. How about you, Mr. Romero? Mr. Dait? Mr. Kagiwa?
Sir, wala pa.
Other
Sa ngayon.
So wala pa sa ngayon. So magkakaroon kayo ng question kapag na-experience nila. Okay, kapag nagkaroon na kayo ng problema. So wala pa ngayon kasi hindi nyo pa naman ginagawa. Anyway, so how about you, Mr. Dumagat? Mr. Santiago?
Wala pa sa ngayon, sir.
Wala din, sir.
And Miss Escaparte? Right, so wala yata si Miss Escaparte. Not sure where she is right now. Pero, okay. So, hanggang doon na lang muna. So, kung may time kayo, okay, that's a good thing na pwede nyo gawin yung mga, yun, yung actual sensors. Or kung may pera din kayo, okay. So syempre, problema din yung pera. Pero since ito lang yung naisip ko, if you can still come up with other sensors around you that you can use, then feel free to use that one. Pero ito kasi yung pinaka-efficient na nakita ko with the use of smartphone. Okay. So hanggang doon na lang muna. Okay. So for further instruction, kung meron pa akong maidagdag, so we will discuss that one next meeting. Alright? So if you guys don't have a question anymore, so you may now leave and have your lunch if you haven't ate your lunch yet.
Sige, sir. Take care.
Alright, so goodbye.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir.
Ay, sir.
Happy lunch.
Sige, sir.
Alright, so Miss Ria, do you have a question? All right, so I think Miss Rio is not here. Anyway, so I am ending this meeting now. So goodbye, and then see you next meeting, Miss Rio.